themselves situated. Hope you'll enjoy our broadcast here this evening between the Greyhounds and the Spartans here on the Country Sunshine. And the opening tap is controlled by Connersville's Chris Poe. Poe will pick it up and work it over to Joe Smith on the right side, over to Hobby on the wing. Hobby looks inside to Poe. Poe has McCool on him. Gets it back over to Hobby in the corner. Now out high to Bostic, and left side it goes to Joe Smith.
Greyhounds in a man defense.
Smith finds Hobby at the free throw line. Now to Poe, left side of the circle. He'll go to Garrison on the right side, and everybody's touched the basketball. Here's a shot from the outside that's good by Noel Bostic for the first 2 points of the ball game, as Bostic shows us his outside shooting.
He's become quite an outside shooter.
Newkirk, heavily guarded by Chris Poe, will commit the offensive foul, try to push Poe away, and that'll turn the ball over to the Connersville Spartans. So Connersville with the basketball.
Kind of a little touch situation right in front of us, John, but evidently Newkirk pushed him away.
Chris Poe will bring it up court. Brookville will pick up half court as Greg Garrison gets it on the right wing. He'll dish off now to Smith. Joe with the basketball gets it now to Chris Poe. Poe takes it left side to Hobby. Hobby looks right side to Garrison. Garrison in the lane to Bostic. Bostic double team. Try to get it back out to Garrison. Stolen by Halcomb, and Halcomb turned the ball over. Or did he get fouled by Garrison?
Garrison fouled him as he started to go down the court.
All right, the foul will be called on Greg Garrison. The 5'11 senior from Connersville picks up his first foul, team's first. Now the Greyhounds will put it in play. That was probably a good foul by Garrison, preventing the fast break by Halcomb.
He was off to the races.
Newkirk will be picked up by Chris Poe with a wraparound dribble. Smith double teams. Newkirk in trouble. Gets it off to Halcomb. Halcomb has the ball knocked out of his hands by Garrison out of bounds, and the Greyhounds will put it in play. Nice swarming defense by Connersville. Greyhounds will put it in as Halcomb gets it over to Shuttlecotti. Now to Newkirk on the left side. Newkirk on the wing. Looks to Collins in the lane. He'll lose the handle. Put it back up and in. John Collins ties the ball game up at 2 apiece. 6:37 left to play here in the first quarter. Hobby on the wing, left side, gives way to Joe Smith. In the lane to Garrison, left side. Garrison is going to be fouled, and John Collins will pick it up. That'll be his first, team second.
Greyhounds are playing a good man defense, John. They're swarming around the basketball, and this should be an interesting game. The Greyhounds are defensing well.
It is tied at 2 apiece with 6:28 still to go in this opening quarter. Joe Smith, the deep pass to Chris Poe. Poe near the top of the circle finds Smith left corner. Now to Hobby on the wing left side. His pass is intercepted by Collins over to Newkirk, and they'll slow it down. Newkirk now picks it up, goes over to Collins. He'll try to go inside, throws it away, but Shuttlecotti comes up with it, misses the shot, and Bostic has the rebound for Connersville. He'll get it over to Joe Smith, and Smith is going to turn the ball over. That'll give the ball back to Brookville on the first Connersville turnover. We're tied at 2 with 6:06 left to play in this first quarter. Greg Newkirk picked up by Poe. Gets it across the timeline. Now works it inside to Shuttlecotti with a pump fake. The shot up and in, and Brookville's got the lead 4-2. Spartans with a basketball, and another turnover on Connersville will give the Greyhounds the basketball, and Coach Larry Bullington up and trying to settle his club down.
Well, the Spartans are moving a little faster than what they can control the basketball. Greyhounds not wanting to slow it down so far.
Brookville will put the ball in play as they get it into John Collins. He's guarded by Joe Smith. Collins will get it across the timeline, and Smith will steal the basketball. Smith one-on-one, goes cross-court to Garrison, and Greg Garrison lays it up and in to tie the game up at 4 apiece. Here is Newkirk in traffic, and he is going to be fouled by Garrison. And if that's on Greg, that's going to be number 2. That is the call, and Garrison's got both of the Spartan fouls this quarter. Let's see if Coach Bullington will have to go to his bench.
Greg doing a lot of reaching in there, trying to get the basketball back away from Collins.
It'll be Halcomb to trigger it in. He'll get it over to Shuttlecotti deep in the right corner. Shuttlecotti looks for help. Gets it now to Newkirk. The lob intended for McCool goes out of bounds as both Halcomb and McCool try for it, but too late. The ball is already lost.
Not a bad pass in there. Greg just overshot the mark.
It'll be Connersville basketball with this game tied at 4 apiece with 5:19 still to play in the first quarter. Joe Smith gets a screen from Garrison, then gives up his dribble to Greg. Greg with a shot fake, now goes over to Chris Poe, left side of the circle. Poe feeds Hobby. He'll go up with a jumper and hit it. Steve Hobby gets his first two and puts Connersville on top 6-4 with 4:46 left to play in the first quarter. Shottelkotte, left side, goes out high to Collins. Round out of Newkirk, top of the circle. Newkirk starts to penetrate, then goes back to Shottelkotte, and he'll try to go to Newkirk, who wasn't looking for the pass, and the Greyhounds will throw it away.
Spartans had a hand in the lane passing there, and they had the hand right in the lane, and then removed the hand, and the ball went out of bounds.
Well, and Coach Martin was up on the bench telling Shottelkotte, hey, look and make sure the guy's watching you when you're throwing the ball to him. Bostic with the ball will go over to Poe, right wing. Now to Smith. Smith will penetrate, dish off low to Bostic, and Bostic has two more. Connersville leads it by 4, 8-4, as Noel Bostic leads the Spartans with 4 points. Halcomb with the basketball across the timeline to Shottelkotte. Shottelkotte deep in the left corner to Halcomb. Halcomb will take it down low to Shottelkotte. Baseline left, he lays it up and in. Shottelkotte has 4. And Connersville's lead is down to 2 as Hobby takes it to the basket, and he's going to be fouled. Chris Bottomley will check in for Connersville. Greg Garrison leads with 2 points and 2 fouls. Meanwhile, it's going to be Tom Shottelkotte picking up his first foul for Brookville, their third. And it's going to be a common foul. The Spartans will put it in play underneath their own basket with 4:02 left to go in the first quarter, up by 2. Chris Poe finds Joe Smith over to Steve Hobby in the left corner. Hobby to Bostic in the lane. Back to Hobby. He'll fire from the outside. It's good. Steve Hobby has 4, and the Spartans lead at 10-6. Greyhounds with the ball as Collins brings it up court. He's being hawked by Joe Smith. Collins gives up his dribble to Newkirk. Inside they go to McCool. He'll put it up and in from the right side, and Lance McCool gets his first basket. He was looking for that ball. 3:26 to go in the first quarter, a 2-point, 10-8 Connersville lead. Steve Hobby with the ball will put it up baseline left, rejected and picked up by McCool, and he walks with it. Greyhound fans did not agree with that call.
Phil thought he was pushed a little gently there in order to cause the travel, but Spartans will have much more out of the ball.
Joe Smith will put it in play as he gets over to Chris Poe deep in the left corner. Chris on the high dribble finds Smith. His three-point shot is no good. The rebound, Halcomb outside Hobby for it. Halcomb comes down quickly, left side off the glass and in, and this game is tied up at 10 apiece. As Doug Halcomb gets his first basket with 2:56 left to go in the opening quarter. Now these two teams have both gotten 10 points. Joe Smith baseline right, up with a shot, no good. Bostic with a rebound, has it rejected, out of bounds. Rather, that was Bottomley having his shot rejected, and it's going to be Connersville basketball out of bounds. So Joe Smith will put it in play over to Bostic, and around it comes to Chris Poe. Poe gets it now to Joe Smith on the wing. To Hobby, his baseline jumper in and out. Bottomley with the rebound is going to be fouled by Lance McCool. And McCool is going to pick up his first. That'll be the team's fourth. We've got 2:38 left to go in this first quarter.
A lot of action underneath the basket. A lot of rebounds and a lot of pushing and shoving.
Spartans will have the basketball to put it in play. Joe Smith will get it in as he throws it out high to Chris Poe. Now to Hobby on the left wing. Hobby back to Poe. Poe goes to Smith on the wing left side. And Joe now will set up Chris Poe. Steve Hobby takes it right wing. Goes back to Smith at the top of the circle, the Bottomley left side, to Hobby in the lane. Hobby has it taken away by Newkirk as they're going to call a held ball. And it's going to go to Brookville on the alternate possession, so nice play there by Newkirk.
Newkirk stepped right in and grabbed the ball.
Brookville now with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight. We're tied at 10 apiece with 2:15 left here in the opening quarter. Newkirk takes it down to the free throw line, lobs into McCool, double team, forces one up, and he's going to be fouled. Shot wouldn't drop, but he'll go to the stripe. So let's see which Spartan collected the foul. It's going to be against Bottomley, and Chris will pick up his first. That'll be the third against Connersville.
Shooting foul. Lance McCool will be at the free throw line. The Greyhounds, John, have decided to play the Spartans tough tonight so far.
Yes, they have.
McCool, Shuttlecotty inside. Shuttlecotty has 2 baskets. McCool a basket. Now an opportunity at the free throw line for 2 shots.
He's hitting 57% from the stripe. This free throw is good.
And so far, Greg Newkirk, the point guard, has handled the pressure. A couple of turnovers, but
Lance McCool gives the Greyhounds the lead. His second free throw, he's got them both, and Brookville's got a 2-point, 12-10 lead with 2:06 left to play here in the first quarter. Bottomley gets over to Hobby on the left wing. Hobby feeds it to Poe. Poe takes it to the basket, puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebound, Joe Smith, up, no good. And this time Brookville comes out with it as John Collins has the rebound over to Greg Newkirk. Newkirk takes it across the timeline, guarded by Poe. Lobs it over to Collins. Collins is going to, Joe Smith is going to be guilty of the pushing foul. Some contact between both those players, and Smith will be charged with his first. That'll be the team's fourth. Spartan fans did not agree with that call.
Well, it looked like the Collins and Smith kind of elbowed each other at the same time there, but this game is getting rough, John. They must take control of it out there.
Brookville will put it in play as Newkirk takes it right side, guarded by Poe. Now gets it over to Halcomb. Inside to McCool. McCool puts it high off the glass, no good. Shuttlecotty crashes the boards, but Bostic comes out with a basketball over to Joe Smith. Smith takes it down right side. Finds Hobby. Down low to Bostic. Bostic with a pump fake over McCool. Puts it up and in for 6 points. We're tied at 12 with 1:14 left to go in this first quarter. It's been a good first quarter. Brookville with a basketball as Collins takes it free throw line to Newkirk. Down low they go to Shuttlecotty. That high arching shot no good. However, Noel Bostic picks up his first foul, the team's 5th, as Poe comes out and Mitchell Sizemore replaces him, and Brookville now is in the bonus. Tom Shuttlecotty with the free throw line following the foul on Noel Bostic. Shuttlecotty 66% from the stripe. He'll have 2 shots here. Shuttlecotty has 4 points. Once again, trying to put Brookville in front. He does. Shuttlecotty with 1 more shot coming to him. He's averaging about 12 points a ball game. Second shot by Shuttlecotty. He's got them both to fall. Greyhounds are back out on top by 2, 14-12 with 58 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Hobby takes it baseline left. Looks for help, loses the handle out of bounds, and it's going to go to Brookville.
Good defense there by Shuttlecotty against Hobby.
And the Greyhounds will put it in play, leading by 2 with just under a minute left to play in the first quarter. Sizemore on Newkirk, and Newkirk across the timeline to Collins. Collins gets it over to Shuttlecotty left side, now back out high to Newkirk. Newkirk goes to McCool near the top of the circle, left side of Newkirk, and now to Shuttlecotty on the wing. Shuttlecotty feeds Halcomb underneath. He'll put it up no good. And Bostic with a rebound. Loses the handle. It's loose still. And finally picked up by Mitchell Sizemore. The lead pass to Bottomley. Bottomley back to Bostic. And he walks with a basketball. That'll turn it back over to Brookville with 18 seconds left to play in this first quarter. And Matt Shirk will come in for Connersville. And Noel Bostic will come out. Greyhounds will have the basketball with a 2-point lead and 18 seconds left to go in this first quarter. John Collins puts the ball on the floor against Joe Smith. Gets it across the timeline. Double team by Sizemore. Now gets it over to Shuttlecotty left wing. To Newkirk top of the circle. Newkirk starts to penetrate. Puts the shot up and in. He's fouled by Joe Smith. Joe Smith gets his second foul. Greg Newkirk gets his first basket and a chance for a 3-point play. And we've got 1 second left on the clock here in the quarter, and the Greyhounds have a 4-point lead.
Well, Greg Newkirk has certainly handled the pressure tonight. We thought coming in they would pressure him, and so far, the first 8 minutes of this game, Newkirk has handled the pressure well.
Well, he scores what could be the last basket of this first quarter to give his club a 4-point lead. He's got an opportunity right now for a 3-point play, hitting 64% from the free throw line. Greg Newkirk, a 5'9", red-headed senior guard from the Brookville Greyhounds, averages about 5 points a game. Looking for his third point here in the first quarter. Shot by Newkirk is good, and the Greyhounds have their largest lead of the night, a 5-point advantage. Here's Mitchell Sizemore's 3-point shot. Sizemore takes it back and now looks over to Garrison. Garrison on the left wing will send it back over to Chris Poe. Poe now gets it right back to Garrison. Garrison finds Matt Shirk. Now over to Chris Poe. His shot from the left side is good, and Chris Poe gets his first basket to pull the Spartans to within 3. Greyhounds with the basketball. They've got their original starting 5 still on the floor. They have yet to make a substitution, whereas the Spartans have already played 8 players. Greg Newkirk against the zone defense. Gets it over now to Collins in the right corner. Back over to Newkirk. Now to Collins. Inside to McCool. McCool takes it up and in. Matt Shirk's going to get an education inside with Lance McCool. 19-14, Greyhounds by 5, and we've got a travel against Greg Garrison that'll turn the ball back over to Brookville.
Greyhounds defensively have taken the Spartans out of their game plan so far in this early part of the game.
Well, Brookville on top by 5, 19-14. 6:58 left to play in this first half as Newkirk will walk it up court. Spartans in a zone. Collins will get it over to Newkirk, now to Halcomb on the left side of the circle. Inside to Collins, he'll miss the shot. Rebound fought for, and Shirk will lose it out of bounds. Greyhounds will put it back in play. 19-14 Brookville with 6:42 left to go in the second quarter. John Collins lobs it in the corner to Halcomb. He tries to go to McCool, and Shirk will knock it out of bounds once again. Now the Greyhounds trying to reverse it to the weak side, then dump it inside.
Get it into McCool. They're trying their best to.
Halcomb will get it out to Newkirk. Newkirk calls the play. Looks over to Connersville 2-3 zone. Now gets it over to Halcomb, left side of the circle. Halcomb finds Shadowcotty on the wing left side. Back out it comes to Halcomb. And now to McCool, left side of the lane. Out to Halcomb. His three-pointer, no good. And the rebound, Matt Shirk goes high for it over to Chris Poe. Poe brings the ball down court to Sizemore. Sizemore now will swing it back out to Poe and around to Garrison and now to Bottomley. Joe Smith getting set to check in along with Steve Hobby as Bottomley takes it to the basket, scores, and he is fouled. Chris Bottomley off the bench gets his first 2 tonight. Draws the foul on Brookville and has a chance for a 3-point play as Shadowcotty gets his second foul of the evening.
Chris Bottomley had the ball on the left-hand side at the wing. He took 2 dribbles with his right hand toward the middle, then behind the back dribble with his left, made a power layup. That was a fine move by Chris Bottomley.
3 substitutions for Connersville as Bostic, Smith, and Hobby come in.
That was a fine move by Chris Bottomley.
Newkirk will come out, and he'll be replaced in the lineup by Philip Miller. So Connersville is going to have Garrison, Poe, Bottomley, Hobby, and Bostic. And the free throw is good by Bottomley. He makes the 3-point play, and we've got a 2-point basketball game. Now Hobby comes in, and he replaces Bottomley.
Spartans pressing full court now.
So Connersville has its starting 5 back on the floor, trailing by 2. Collins with the basketball, looks over to Halcomb, and there's a 10-second violation against Brookville.
As it changed the defensive pressure, the Spartans kept trying to find something that would work against the Greyhounds, or they were able to come up with a 10-second. They have a chance to tie.
Joe Smith will get it over to Chris Poe. Poe setting up the offense for Connersville. Spartans down 19-17 with 5:44 left to play in the second quarter. Garrison with the ball goes up with a jumper partially blocked, and Halcomb will foul him. Doug Halcomb picks up his first foul. Greg Garrison will go to the free throw line with 2 shots. 5 of 9 this year for Greg Garrison, 55% shooter from the stripe. Greg has 2 points tonight. He's averaging just under 5 per game.
Spartans are able to rest starters there, John, at least 2 minutes in this second quarter.
And they were down by 5. Now they're down by 2. The shot by Garrison from the free throw line is long. And Greg will have an opportunity for one more. Both teams are in the bonus as well. Second shot by Garrison, rims in and out. The rebound taken down by Shuttlecotti. So the Greyhounds hang on to a 2-point lead. They've got the basketball as Philip Miller brings it up court over to John Collins. Collins looks inside to McCool, slapped away by Smith, picked up by Poe, over to Garrison. Garrison takes it to the hoop, off the glass, no good. Rebound taken down by Collins, and Steve Hobby picks up his first foul, and John Collins will go to the free throw line. Greg Newkirk, waiting to check in, is going to check in for Collins, but Collins will be at the stripe with one of the bonus. John this year is only a 47% shooter from the free throw line.
Spartans had a good fast break on the play as Chris Poe hit Greg Garrison. Greg came down on the right side, chose to take the shot. The shot wouldn't fall. Hobby picks up the foul on the rebound.
At the free throw line is John Collins. 2 points tonight. His free throw is no good. And then it's tipped into the basket between McCool and Bostic. And McCool picks up a foul.
McCool came over the back. Then he picked up his second foul, tipping the ball in.
Well, they are not counting that basket, however. And it's going to put Bostic at the free throw line now with one of the bonus. You know, those players froze when that ball hit high on the rim. I think they thought that was a 2-shot foul for some reason.
I think they thought it might be going in.
Well, that could have been another reason for that, too.
But it didn't.
Well, no Bostic up there now at 1-1, hitting 74% from the field. Noel's got 6 points already in this ball game. His free throw is off the iron. And on the rebound, Hobby gets it, puts it up, no good, but he's going to be fouled, and McCool's got his third. If that is the call.
Or Shuttlecotti, one of the two.
That is going to be Shuttlecotti's third foul. So that puts Brookville in a bit of jeopardy here in this first half. As Tom Shuttlecotti, their leading scorer on the season, coming off a career-high 21 points, picks up his third foul, and that puts John Collins back in the ballgame, and Shuttlecotti coming out. And Tom says, I've got 3 fouls. He's probably the most surprised person out there on the court.
I think he thought McCool was the one that picked up the foul.
So Shuttlecotti leads with 3 fouls and 6 points with 5:14 left to play in the second. And we'll see Hobby at the free throw line. Free throw by Steve is good. Boy, the Spartans were only 1 of 4 from the stripe until that shot by Hobby. And that pulls them 1 point closer. They're down now 19-18. Hobby, a 68% shooter from the stripe. The second one is good as well. Hobby has 6, and the game is tied at 19 with 5:11 left to play in the first half. Newkirk is triple teamed and will have the ball slapped out of bounds by the Spartans. So the Greyhounds will put it in play as John Collins will be designated the trigger man. We're knotted up at 19. And the Greyhounds will get it in over to Halcomb. He's trapped in the corner. He'll send it out deep to Newkirk. And Newkirk will work it around the right side of the circle. Get it over to Miller in the corner, left side. And we've got a scramble for the basketball, and Garrison will lose it out of bounds.
Greg tried to defend the pass away from him. He batted it out of bounds. It was almost in Halcomb's hands. Good job there by Greg to bat it out of bounds.
So close that Garrison got Halcomb's elbow in his chin.
No contact.
Newkirk with the ball inside to McCool. Nice pass, and McCool puts it up and in. He's got 8 points. And the Greyhounds lead it 21-19. Joe Smith gets it over to Chris Poe and around to Greg Garrison. Garrison finds Poe, and now Joe Smith. Here's Steve Hobby with it on the wing left side. Bostic with the basketball. He'll take it from the free throw line. No good. And McCool's got the rebound, and we've got a pushing foul on Greg Garrison, and that's going to be Garrison's third. He'll come out of there with 2 points, and Chris Bonnelly will replace him in the Connersville lineup. So both teams have a starter with 3 fouls.
Well, they put Halcomb on Bostic that time, and then McCool was playing on Steve Hobby. Hobby made perhaps a little quicker than what McCool would be, but McCool didn't really go out to guard Steve at the wing position when he had the ball.
And we've got Lance McCool at the free throw line. He's got 8 points tonight. He's 2 for 2 from the stripe. And he'll be up there with 1 and 1 as the Greyhounds are back up in front by 2. They've led by as many as 5. McCool's free throw is short, and Chris Bottomley has the rebound over to Joe Smith. Smith will take it left side, put it up from the lane, no good. Rebound tipped out to Miller, and Steve Hobby loses his balance and fouls Philip Miller. Steve was just looking for a place to come down that time.
Well, Phil had the ball in his hands, and Steve was trying his best to avoid him. And, you know, the interesting thing about that, John, there's probably been a lot of contact like that away from the ball that wasn't called. But he happened to have the ball right there, and everybody saw it.
And that's the second foul on Steve Hobby, and that's going to put Philip Miller at the free throw line.
Miller's had a good relief performance here for the Greyhounds.
Miller with 1 and 1 makes the free throw to give Brookville a 3-point lead.
The Brookville guards have handled the pressure rather well tonight so far.
Yes, they have, and they're up by 3, 22-19 with 4:19 left to play here in the first half. Philip Miller's second free throw. This one misses, and Bostic has the rebound. Over to Joe Smith, left side. Smith goes out high to Poe and around to Bottomley, and now to Hobby on the right wing. Hobby feeds Poe. Poe takes it baseline, and he's going to be fouled. A blocking foul on Brookville as Greg Newkirk went hard to the court, but we'll see who the foul is going to be called on. Poe will be at the stripe, and Newkirk will pick up the blocking foul, his second. And we'll see Chris Poe at the stripe. He is the best free throw shooter for Connersville. He's hitting 90%, 27 out of 30 attempts. And he's been the line more than anybody else for Connersville this season. Chris Poe with 2 points, averaging nearly 12 a game. His free throw, he draws iron. Oh, he'll have an opportunity for one more. Trying to pull Connersville within 2. Poe's second shot. This one hits the front of the rim and then goes in. It's 22-20 Connersville. The Spartans will press. The Greyhounds will clear it, as McCool will take it at the timeline to Newkirk. Newkirk gets it in the corner to Miller, down low to McCool, and he'll be rejected by Bostic. Over it comes now to Poe, to Bottomley. Bottomley takes it to the basket and scores. Chris Bottomley's got 5 off the bench, and he ties the game at 22. Newkirk gets it over to Halcomb across the timeline. Halcomb takes it all the way. Puts it up, no good, and we've got a foul on Connersville's Chris Bottomley. Bottomley picks up his second foul. Halcomb just forced that shot up there and drew the foul on Bottomley.
He said he held him on the play, John, but he really had him blocked. I don't believe he got his hand on him. He maybe got a body into him, but it's a rough game out there tonight.
Halcomb hitting 72% from the stripe.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, it is. Shot is up by Halcomb. It's good. And Brookville is back out on top by 1, 23-22. 3:29 left to play in the first half. Halcomb's second free throw. He's got them both to fall. And the Greyhounds lead it by a pair with 3:28 left here in the first half. Hobby goes over to Joe Smith, and around it comes to Bottomley. Here's Joe Smith with it on the left wing. To Hobby in the lane. Up with a shot. Hobby ties the game up. Steve Hobby has 8, and we're tied at 24 with 3:13 left in the first half. Newkirk going to be double teamed near the timeline. Gets it away. Around it comes to Collins in the corner right side. Collins in the lane to Halcomb. Deflected. Picked up by Philip Miller. Brookville maintains possession. Miller looks for help. Gets it over to McCool, and now to Newkirk. Newkirk back to McCool, lobs it over his head, deflected over to Collins. Collins underneath, blocked by Hobby, brother Bostic, and a scramble for the basketball, and it's going to be saved by Collins. He'll miss the shot, and Bostic has the rebound once again. Joe Smith brings it up court. He'll take it all the way down himself off the glass, no good. Bostic tries to tip it up. He can't do it, and the ball is lost out of bounds. And it's last touch by Brookville as Chris Bottomley did a great job of diving out of bounds, deflecting the ball off of Graham before he fell down out of bounds. So the Spartans will have the basketball. We're tied at 24 with 2:29 left in the first half. Hobby hits one from three-point range. First three-pointer of the night, and gives Connersville a 27-24 lead. Here's a steal by Joe Smith. He'll put it up left side and good. And the Spartans now lead it by 5, and the Greyhounds want a timeout. From Brookville on WCNB WIFE, Connersville leads Brookville 29-24. 2:09 left to play here in the first half. Greyhound to the basketball. Here's a deflection. Newkirk will pick it up. Get it over now to Collins. Collins on the left wing goes underneath to Halcomb. He'll put it up no good, and we've got an offensive foul on Doug Halcomb. As Chris Bottomley took the charge, and Halcomb gets his second foul.
Chris Bottomley played well tonight on the release rule there. He took the charge, he got a basket and a three-point play and 5 points. Chris has been very enthusiastic. He had a nice save down there where he threw the ball almost on a prone position back into McCool. So Chris Bottomley has been a welcome relief here.
Yes, it's been Chris Bottomley's best game of the season so far as Mitchell Sizemore gets set to check in for Connersville. And he's going to take the place of Steve Hobby. Hobby's got 2 fouls. He leads the team with 11 points, but a minute 57 left to play here in the first half. I'm sure Hobby's not going to see any more action until the second half.
Well, with Bottomley playing down on the post now, that allows the Spartans to have another tall player. They're going to hold it for one shot, John, perhaps.
Yeah, Sizemore gets it over to Joe Smith. Maybe they'll look for a good shot here. There's still a minute 43. Smith down low to Bottomley. He'll lay it up and in. There was that good shot, and Bottomley's got 7 points.
Cousin to cousin there.
31-24. Connersville now by 7 with a minute 31 left to play here in this first half. Philip Miller over to Greg Newkirk across the timeline to McCool. McCool nearly walks, gets it back over to Newkirk in the corner to Collins. Collins looks for help, gets it back to Newkirk. Here's Collins with it in the right corner. He'll go baseline to Halcomb. Up, no good. Rebound taken out by Joe Smith. A minute 11 left to play in the first half. Spartans lead by 7, 31-24. Chris Poe with a basketball with a minute 4 left to play in the half. Poe takes it down over to Bostic in the right corner. Out high it comes to Joe Smith. Smith picked up by John Collins. Will send it over now to Mitchell Sizemore. Sizemore sends it back now to Chris Poe. The Spartans will spread the floor. They've got themselves a 7-point lead with 43 seconds to play in the first half. Joe Smith will work it out now to Sizemore. And Sizemore will start to penetrate and send it right back over to Chris Poe. Poe gets it back to Sizemore. Sizemore now finds Joe Smith with 23 seconds left to play in a half. Smith starts to penetrate. Dishes down low to Bostic. He's double-teamed, and he draws a foul on Lance McCool, and that's his third.
Well, that's an important foul. Bostic came down, set himself. McCool went up in the air, and boom, there McCool picks up his third foul.
We've got 17 seconds left to play in this first half, and Noel Bostic will go to the stripe. He's averaging 74% from the free throw line. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He has 6 points.
John Race will come into play for the Brookville Greyhounds in this second half of play, perhaps.
Shot is up and good by Bostic, which will give him his bonus shot. Yeah, the big thing here, McCool's there with 3 fouls still in the ball game, and so he's got to be careful here in the final 17 seconds. Noel Bostic at the free throw line. His second shot is up, and he's got them both to fall. Bostic has his average of 8 points. And the Spartans lead it now by 9, 33-24. Here's a steal by Bostic with 12 seconds. Over now to Joe Smith. Smith will let traffic clear to Bottomley. Back to Smith. He'll fire a three-pointer. No good. McCool with the rebound over to Collins with 2 seconds. His wild shot is no good. And that's the end of the first half from Brookville on WCNB, WIFE. Connersville leads the Brookville Greyhounds by 9, 33-24. Noel Bostic and Steve Hobby. Greyhounds start off the second half with a basketball. Remember, Shavelcotti and McCool each have 3 fouls for Brookville. Garrison has 3 for Connersville. And here is a deflected pass picked up by Newkirk. He'll get it back over to Shavelcotti on the left side. Shiloh-County gets it out high to Collins. Brookville trails by 9. Shiloh-County on the baseline walks with the basketball. And remember that first quarter we had a lot of traveling calls. Spartans now with the ball. They bring it down quickly to Garrison. Garrison takes it low to Hobby. Hobby right side of the baseline, no good. Bostic with a rebound, puts it up and in, and Noel Bostic's got his 10th point of the night.
Bostic just out-muscled people for the ball that time. He just wanted it.
It's an 11-point Spartan lead with 7:18 left to play in the third quarter. Greg Newkirk works it over to Shiloh-County on the left wing. Shiloh-County sends it back over now to Collins. Collins brings it to Shiloh-County in the corner. Now to Doug Halcomb on the left wing. Here is Shiloh-County with it in the corner. It goes to McCool. Back to Shiloh-County in the lane. He'll put it up from there. Good. Tom Shiloh-County has 8. And the Greyhounds trail by 9, 35-26. Joe Smith, left side glass, misses a shot, gets called for the offensive foul. And a technical perhaps. No, they're not going to do that. He slapped the floor. I thought maybe they'd be touching up to call that. That's his third foul tonight, the first against the Spartans this half. Sometimes you anticipate what those men will do in a striped shirt. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not. And they're going to have to wipe up some moisture, and I think Coach Martin might be planting a seed in the official's mind just about the reaction from the player on the call. 35-26, Spartans lead it by 9. Greyhounds have the basketball. We still have 6:47 left in the third quarter. Spartans will call off their press as Newkirk will bring it up court. Newkirk will go cross court to Halcomb, and around it comes to Shiloh-County. Here it is to Collins and back to Shiloh-County, taken away by Greg Garrison. And here's a steal by Newkirk. And Newkirk will set it up to Halcomb, back to Newkirk. They'll get the offense reset for Brookville. Trying to cut into this 9-point Spartan lead. Newkirk double team to Halcomb, left side of the circle, over to Shiloh-County in the corner. He had Collins cutting underneath, but couldn't get the ball to him. Now we'll get it back out to Newkirk. Newkirk looks to Shiloh-County baseline left. He puts it up too strong. Rebound. Bostic comes out with it for Connersville. Chris Poe work us up court. They'll now bring it over to Greg Garrison and now to Hobby on the right wing. Hobby goes out high to Bostic. Bostic in the lane, puts it up off the glass. He gets the roll. And Noel Bostic now with 12 points. He's got both the Connersville baskets here in the third quarter.
Bostic's playing with a lot of enthusiasm and confidence.
Boy, he's coming off that 17-point performance last night, and that really must have given him some incentive to play here this evening against the Brookville Greyhounds. Doug Halcomb gets it over to Greg Newkirk. Newkirk inside the Shiloh-County. He'll put it up no good. McCool on the rebound. Back up. It won't go. This rebound belongs to Steve Hobby. Over to Chris Poe. Poe comes down the right side. In the corner, double teamed, over to Bostic. Bostic inside against McCool. Hooks it up and in.
What a shot by Bostic. It was a left-handed jumping hook shot.
Gary Martin wants a timeout from Brookville on WCMB, WIFE. It is Connersville 39 and Brookville 26. Connersville Spartans have their largest lead of the night. It's a 13-point, 39-26 advantage, as the Spartans have outscored the Greyhounds 6-2 to start this third quarter, thanks to Noel Bostic, who has all 6 of those points. He's got a game-high 14. Newkirk gets it to Halcomb in the lane. Over now to Shiloh-County. Left side shot is good for Shiloh-County. He's got 10 to lead Brookville. 39-28 Spartans, 4:47 left in the third. Joe Smith takes it left side of the circle, lobs to Poe, and he'll lose it out of bounds. Not quite what Coach Larry Bullington wanted.
He says, why? Why make that pass?
Greyhounds will have the basketball. The Spartans now will pick up half court. Newkirk guarded by Poe. Gets it over to McCool. Intercepted by Bostic. Over now to Garrison. Garrison takes it down the left side. He'll pull up in the corner, and we've got a whistle and a foul. And Newkirk, I believe, will pick up number 3. That'll be the first foul against Brookville this half. That's going to bring Casey Holman off the bench. Holman is going to check in. Casey is a 6-foot junior, plays part-time varsity, part-time JV.
Who's he in for? Holman?
And he's going to come in for Halcomb.
Somebody has to come out. There he goes.
Well, Doug Howard, well, yeah, I'll tell you, I like Tom Shadowcotty. Whether he needed to tie his shoe or not, he gave Halcomb an opportunity to come out of the game as he goes down to tie that shoe. So they weren't guilty of having 6 guys on the floor. Here comes to Joe Smith. Smith will bring it out high to Chris Poe, top of the circle. Now to Smith on the wing left side. Smith will bring it back over now to Poe, and around it comes to Greg Garrison. Hobby takes it, a three-pointer from the left side, in and out. Rebound Garrison underneath everybody. Will bring it back out. He'll send it over to Chris Poe. He'll fire a three-pointer from the right side, no good. This rebound belongs again to Garrison. He'll take it back to the basket and score. Greg Garrison has 4, and the Spartans will again lead it by 13, 41-28. What about Garrison's rebounding?
He took the ball right up to McCool and was successful. He was up there high.
Brookville with a basketball. Greyhounds will work it over to John Collins. Collins gets it over to Newkirk. Newkirk now to Holman, and around to Collins on the left wing. Down a little to McCool. He'll put it up and good off the left side glass. McCool has 10. It's an 11-point Spartan lead as Garrison takes it to the basket. He's cut off by McCool, brings it back out to Poe. Poe goes to Smith. His three-pointer left side is no good. Bostic with the rebound, the pump fake, the shot, it goes in. Bostic now with 16 points, and the Spartans again lead it by 13, 43-30. John Race gets set to check in for the Brookville Greyhounds, the 6'4 sophomore. Down low to Shadowcotty, wide open, puts it up and in. Shadowcotty has 12 for the Greyhounds, as Connersville still leads by 11, 43-32. Here is Bostic from the free throw line. He's got 2 more. That's 18 for Bostic, and that surpasses the season high of 17 last night.
What a quarter, 5 baskets.
45-32 Connersville. You want the difference in the ball game, it is Noel Bostic, and he deflects the ball out of bounds. Shadowcotty tries to save it and loses it, as Doug Halcomb and John Race will come in for Brookville. Lance McCool will sit down, and so will Casey Holman. So the Spartans have a 13-point lead in the basketball and an opportunity to take their largest lead of the night with 2:24 left to play in the third quarter. Greg Garrison on the right wing, and he'll walk with the basketball. He moved that foot before he put the ball down on the floor.
He saw the opening to the right. He was trying to fake Holcomb to go to the left, and then he just did both his feet at the same time.
Greyhounds get the ball back, trailing by 13. 2:12 left to play in the third quarter. Brookville is idle till next Saturday when they will be taking on East Central. Meanwhile, Connersville goes to Greensburg next Friday. We will have the Connersville-Greensburg game for you in its entirety next Friday night, starting at 6:15 live from Greensburg. Newkirk's three-point bomb, top of the circle, is good. Greg Newkirk with 6 points, and the Spartan lead is cut to 10 at 45-35. Greg Garrison gets it over to Steve Hobby, back over to Garrison. Garrison now to Joe Smith. Smith underneath, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by John Race. Race will get it over to Newkirk, and now the Greyhounds have a chance to cut this lead under double figures. John Collins tries to go down low to Race, and Bostic will steal the pass. Over to Greg Garrison. Garrison will walk with the basketball. That's going to bring Casey Holman back in the ball game for Brookville, and Mitchell Sizemore in for Connersville. John Collins and Greg Garrison will go out for their respective teams.
Greg was trying to take the middle on the fast break on the play, and he knew he had a man he wanted to pass to. He just dribbled the ball. He tried to pass and dribble at the same time and caused the turnover.
Greg Newkirk will bring it down the right side. He'll stop, get it over to Doug Halcomb. Halcomb in traffic, back to Newkirk. He'll fire another long bomb short. And this rebound is lost out of bounds. Last touch by whom? Out of bounds against the Greyhounds, so Connersville puts it back in play. Mitchell Sizemore will bring it up court with 54 seconds left in the third quarter, and Connersville holding on to a 10-point lead. Spartans now will spread the floor as Joe Smith, Chris Poe, and Mitchell Sizemore work the basketball in the backcourt. Down to 37 seconds. here in the third quarter. Connersville leading at 45-35. Clock winds under 30. Sizemore takes it to the hoop and will be charged. Well, he'll go. We've got a blocking foul on John Race, and that'll put Sizemore at the stripe.
Race didn't quite have the charge on the play. Sizemore wasn't going straight to the basket. He slid himself off to the right, and Race just tried to keep his position, but it was never there.
That's the first foul on Race, the second foul on Brookville this half. And Mitchell Sizemore at the free throw line. Mitchell on the year, 58%, hits this one. They'll have an opportunity for a second shot, trying to give Connersville a 12-point lead. Second free throw, he's got them both to fall. Sizemore's first 2 points of the night. That is a 47-35 Connersville lead with 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Greyhounds try to get it down low to Race, deflected off the backboard, and Hobby comes up with it over to Bostic with 16 seconds. Bostic gets it over now to Sizemore. Sizemore now to Crispo with 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Poe with the ball to Hobby. He'll shoot it up and in with 5 seconds to go. Hobby's got 13. 1 second. That's the end of the third quarter from Brookville on WCNB WIFE. Connersville leads the Greyhounds 49-35.
All the right parts in all the right.
Mitchell Sizemore, Joe Smith, Chris Poe, Steve Hobby, and Noel Bostic, the 5 for Connersville. John Collins, Tom Shuttlecock, Lance McCool, John Race, and Greg Newkirk, the 5 for Brookville. The Spartans want the Greyhounds out of his own defense. So they're going to spread the floor and just pass the ball in the backcourt between Smith, Sizemore, and Poe. Spartans with the basketball with 7.5 minutes left to play in this ball game. Joe Smith will get it over to Sizemore. Sizemore will now find Chris Poe. Poe with the basketball, penetrates, goes up with a shot from the lane and scores. Chris Poe gets just his 5th point of the night. He's averaging about 12 per game. It's 51-35. The Spartans have their largest lead of the evening. Tom Shuttlecock gets it over to Collins and now to Newkirk, and Newkirk will set up the offense. Coach Bullingen wants his team up playing some defense. Newkirk gets it over to Shuttlecock left side, now out high to Collins. Collins with a head fake, goes inside to Race. He'll miss the layup. Bostic playing some good defense, gets the rebound. Out it comes now to Joe Smith. Smith to Poe. Poe fakes the shot and gets it over to Sizemore. Sizemore works it back over to Chris Poe with 6.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Connersville up by 16, 51-35. Joe Smith looks around and goes to Chris Poe. Poe now will work it over to Sizemore. Sizemore picked up by Newkirk, finds Poe. Poe starts to penetrate, hits the jumper from the lane. Chris Poe's got 7. And maybe the fourth quarter belonged to Chris Poe like the third quarter belonged to Noel Bostic. Here's a loose ball that's picked up by Shuttlecock, and he's going to be called for traveling. That's going to bring in Philip Miller and Doug Halcomb for the Brookville Greyhounds. And going out will be Greg Newkirk, and also taking a seat will be John Race. So Connersville has the basketball, an 18-point lead, 53-35.
Well, the way to forestall the fatigue factors is run the ball nice and easy like the Spartans have.
Here's Sizemore, a 3-point shot, no good. And on the rebound, we've got a foul on Bostic, and that's going to be just his second if that's going to be the call. That is also the second team foul here this half against Connersville. So the Greyhounds will put it in play. Really, both teams only with 2 team fouls in the second half. 5:54 left to go in the ball game. Brookville with the basketball, but they're down by 18, 53-35. Philip Miller brings it up slowly. He'll take it in the corner to Shuttlecock. Back over it comes now to Miller. And to Shuttlecock. Here's a near steal by Bostic, and the Greyhounds will lose the basketball out of bounds. And the Spartans will have to put it back in play. About 5.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. 53-35 Connersville. Spartans' Joe Smith will work the basketball. As Smith will get it over to Chris Poe. Chris Poe now with the basketball. Back over now to Joe Smith. Smith gets it over to Sizemore. Now comes to Bostic. Back over to Sizemore. Sizemore finds Poe with the ball. It goes now to Sizemore and over to Joe Smith in the lane. And we've got a whistle inside and we've got a foul to stop action. And we'll see. The foul is going to be on Brookville's John Collins. It's going to be his second. That'll be the team's third. And with 4:58 left to play in the ball game, Spartans will have the basketball out of bounds underneath their own basket. Connersville up by 18 as Bostic will get it over now to Chris Poe. Poe will work the ball, give up his dribble over to Joe Smith, cross court left side, now to Poe. Poe gets it to Sizemore and around to Chris Poe. Down it comes to Hobby in the corner left side, and he'll have it slapped out of his hands by Collins, picked up by Shadowcotty. Shadowcotty will set it up back over now to Philip Miller. Greyhounds of the basketball trailing by 18 with 4.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Collins on the baseline left, guarded by Hobby. A loose ball inside and a foul on Connersville. This will be the third team foul against the Spartans. Joe Smith will pick up his fourth. Smith has scored only 2 points in this ball game.
Well, that was Bostic inside, but I guess it was Joe Smith.
So Brookville will have the basketball out of bounds, trailing by 18 with 4:24 left to play. Philip Miller gets it inside to Shadowcotty. He'll put it up and good. Shadowcotty has 14 to lead Brookville. Spartans with the basketball, up by 16. Around it goes to Chris Poe and out of Mitchell Sizemore. Deflected out of Sizemore's hands by Halcomb and last touch by Sizemore. As Chad Merrill will check in for the first time for Brookville, and he will take John Collins' spot in the lineup.
Good effort there by Doug Halcomb to bat that ball away, and then Mitch Sizemore touched it before it went out of bounds.
A 16-point Connersville lead. Brookville with the basketball, 3:57 left to play. Shadowcotty inside the lane, puts it up and in again. Shadowcotty's got 16. Here come the Spartans. Joe Smith. He's double-teamed. Gets it over now to Sizemore. Sizemore back to Smith on the right wing, and Chad Merrill commits the foul. It'll be Merrill's first and the team's fourth. So the Spartans will put it in play out of bounds. 3:39 left in this ball game. And Connersville leading it now by just 14, 53-39. That was the advantage at the third quarter break. Mitch Sizemore gets it over now to Joe Smith in the right corner. Out high it comes to Chris Poe and around to Sizemore. Back to Poe. Poe finds Sizemore. And he'll go down to Noel Bostic. In the lane to Joe Smith. Down low to Hobby. He'll lay it up and in, and he's fouled. Steve Hobby has 15. That's his average, and he's going to the stripe for one more. Chad Merrill will pick up his second foul.
The Spartans are playing pass with the basketball from side to side. Finally got it in the middle to Joe Smith. He was surrounded. He dumped a little bounce pass off to Steve Hobby. Steve on the right side got the basket and the possibility of a three-point play.
Spartans lead at 55-39. Hobby's free throw is good. Steve now with 16 points. Now the Spartans lead it 56-39 with 3:18 left in the ball game. Halcomb at the top of the circle loses the handle. A scramble for the ball, and it's going to be picked up by Sizemore. Over to Joe Smith. Smith 3-on-2 to Hobby. Hobby misses a layup. Rebound is long and a foul, and Joe Smith is going to take a seat on the bench. That's going to be number 5 on him. He will come out, and Greg Garrison will take his spot. Smith scored one basket. That was in the second quarter. 3:05 left to play in the ball game as Smith fouls out. But Connersville on top by 17 points. Brookville with the basketball. Greyhounds will get it over to Philip Miller as the Spartans now will press full court. Halcomb takes it, guarded by Hobby. And Halcomb across the timeline to Merrill. Down low to McCool. He'll put it up left side. It's good. Lance McCool with his 12th point. It's 56-41 Connersville. Garrison is double teamed. Over down to Sizemore. Sizemore down low to Hobby. Nice pass. Hobby gets the layup and The foul is on Merrill, his third. And Steve Hobby with 18 points. He and Noel Bostic share scoring honors right now for Connersville.
Well, Steve picked up some big points in last night's victory, doing the very same thing. He hangs around the baseline area, waits for people to come through on the double team, and drops it home.
Merrill will come out after collecting 3 fouls, and John Collins replaces him in the Brookville lineup as Steve Hobby goes to the stripe looking for his second straight three-point play in this quarter. Hobby's free throw is good, and he's got 19 points to lead all. 59-41, the Spartans back to their largest lead of the night, an 18-point advantage, and there's a reach-in foul on Greg Garrison, his fourth. That'll be the team's fifth. It'll be bonus time for Brookville. And we'll see the Greyhounds go to the stripe.
Mitch Sizemore had the man defense rather well on the play, and Greg tried to reach in and help and hook the man with the arm, and Hockham will be at the free throw line.
Doug Halcomb is 2 for 2 tonight from the stripe. He's only got 4 points, hitting 72% from the field.
First time the
Right
Greyhounds,
from the free throw line.
First time the Greyhounds have been there this half.
And he hits it. He'll have an opportunity for another free throw. Doug Halcomb averages about 10 points a game. He's got 5 here tonight. This free throw is also good. It's 59-43. Connersville by 16 with 2.5 minutes left in the ball game. Spartans looking for their 8th win of the season and could be sending Brookville to their 8th straight loss. Sizemore with it, gets it over to Garrison. Cross court to Chris Poe on the left side, and back out high to Sizemore with 2:18 left to play. Sizemore looks around, gets to Chris Poe left side. Now back to Sizemore, and he'll go right back to Chris Poe. They'll play pass. And now over to Greg Garrison. He'll release it to Sizemore. To Garrison. Down low to Hobby again. Hobby underneath will put it up and in. Hobby with 21 to lead all scores. And it's 61-43 Connersville. A minute 52 left in the game. A steal by Hobby. Loose ball now. Collins picks it up. Garrison tries to steal it. The ball thrown away by Collins, and the Connersville Spartans will have the basketball.
Collins says, I'm in Madison, or in Central Park, and I got mugged on that play. They just kept slapping around at him. He was trying to get it, and finally he got it in his hands and thought, I'm going to make the pass, and threw it out of bounds.
Oh, Mitchell Sizemore comes out of the ball game holding his throat. Looks like he was hit in that area. And we've got Michael Thompson and Chris Bonnelly in the ball game as Sizemore and Joe Smith go out. Now, Bostic also has gone out. And Thompson has his pass deflected, picked up by Garrison. Out it now comes to Thompson. Thompson looks back to Hobby. And Hobby is going to be fouled. So for Connersville, we got Bonnelly, Hobby, Garrison, also Thompson and Poe. And now Eric Harley will check in for Connersville as Hobby goes to the free throw line and Collins picks up his third foul. As Harley comes in, he's going to take the place of Chris Poe, and Poe will leave with 7 points on the night. Chad Merrill will check in for Doug Halcomb, and Halcomb leaves with 6 points. At the free throw line is Steve Hobby. Hobby with a game-high 21. His free throw is good. Matt Shirk will check back in, I believe, for Steve Hobby. So he will wait, and Jason Owen will be checking into the ball game, and he'll probably take Garrison's spot, and Garrison will come out with 4 points. A minute 23 left to go in this basketball game, and the Connersville Spartans are going to pick up their 8th win of the season. Hobby's second free throw. This one rims in and out, and Shottelcotti comes down with a rebound. Here's a shot by Merrill from the three-point line, no good. The ball is going to be lost out of bounds by Brookville. That'll bring Shirk into the lineup, and Steve Hobby's going to leave the ball game with 22 points.
Steve Hobby gets a well-deserved hand as well.
Hobby with his 22 points had 8 field goals, including the only Connersville three-pointer. Connersville with the basketball as Thompson brings it up court, gets over to Harley. Harley double team, gets it back to Thompson. Thompson now to Harley. Harley finds Bonnelly underneath the Shirk, and Shirk's got the layup. Matt Shirk gets his first two. That's his first field goal of the season, and we've got an injured Greyhound on the court as Philip Miller went down hard. Somebody ran right into Miller.
He's still down now. He's going to get up.
Doug Halcomb getting set to check in probably for Miller. Well, he's going to check in for Shuttlecotty.
Bill Miller will come over to talk to Gary Martin. He says, how are you doing here? Bill says, I'll stay in.
Shuttlecotty leads with 16 points. Greyhounds have the basketball with less than a minute to play, and they're down by 21. Here's a bomb by Miller from the three-point range. No good. Collins with the offensive rebound. He'll fire a three-pointer. No good from the corner. The rebound, Jason Owen gets over to Chris Bonnelly. Bonnelly takes it now to Harley. His shot from the wing off the glass and in, and Eric Harley's got his first two. 66-43 Connersville. Here's a bomb by Collins. No good. Air ball, and the Spartans will get the ball out of bounds with 23 seconds left in this ball game. There we've got Chris Bonnelly with the ball, tries to go inside the Shirk, and the Spartans will lose it out of bounds with 17 seconds left to go.
Bonnelly tried to give him a bounce pass he can handle. The ball just slipped away from Matt.
Well, Thompson and Owen are the only two that haven't scored in this ball game for Connersville that have played. Here's a shot by Merrill from the three-point line. No good. Gets his own rebound, penetrates, puts it back up and in. Chad Merrill's first basket. 66-45, Connersville up by 21 with 5 seconds left to play in the ball game. And the Spartans will throw it away with 5 seconds to play, and the Greyhounds, let's see, do they deflect it out of bounds or will they get it out? They will get it out.
Will have it.
So let's see what Brookville can do with the final 5 seconds, trailing it by 21. They get it into Halcomb, over to Miller, and around to Collins. His three-pointer blocked by Jason Owen, and that's the ball game. Our final score from Brookville on WCNB WIFE. It is Connersville 66 and Brookville 45.
If you have a problem with costly auto repair bill,